It's the Score North Twin Show.
All right, where are we at here? They lost yesterday. I don't think it matters. I'm not as interested in like the daily grind of wins and losses here. Like they wouldn't have just sat Carlos Correa the whole game, in a close game, right? I think they're just trying to piece together this thing until the finish line. But where are we at with the magic number right now, boys?
9.
9?
Guardians won, right?
Okay.
No. Guardians
that's right.
Lost yesterday in the bottom of the ninth.
They lost 2 or 3. That's right. In fact, I think they lost 2 or 3 to San Francisco, and in both cases, old friend Lamont Wade.
Late night Lamont.
Who was late afternoon Lamont, as our friend Jake Depew texted me. He was late afternoon Lamont yesterday, and 2 nights ago, late night Lamont, which is a great name.
That's of all the podcast. Of all the, it should be. Of all the Twins moves that we have lamented and complained about the last 2 or 3 years, choosing Jake Cave over Lamont Wade it's one that I think only we still lament. Lament.
And didn't they claim some guy, Sean Anderson was the guy they got from the Giants, and he got DFA'd 48 hours later after getting rocked?
They pitched him like 5 times because the trade was made, I think, in spring training or before spring training, and then it was like May that they said goodbye to Sean Anderson. So they literally let like a really good starting outfielder go for a mid-level reliever. But that's neither here nor there because the Twins have a 7.5 game lead in the American League Central. They're sitting here ready to clinch the division at any time. Maybe it happens. They've got 6 home games, against the A's and the Angels coming up. So maybe this thing happens at home. I guess we'll find out. But here's my question for you guys before we get to our Immaculate Grid. They've got some pitchers on rehab assignment here. They've got reinforcements on the way. I'm going to also put Louie Varland in this discussion because Louie has been they're test driving him as a reliever, and he's had a couple really good stints. I think he had one where he gave up some runs, but he's looked really good as a firefighter a couple different times. So I'm going to put him in here. But of the cavalry that might be returning here to your bullpen, you got Louie Varland's up right now. Bailey Ober could be a guy that you add as a reliever on a playoff roster. He's going to continue to start here, but he's probably a reliever option. Mm-hmm. Brock Stewart might have been your best reliever for the first 2 months of the season. He's on a rehab assignment. Chris Paddack is on a rehab assignment. And then Jorge Alcala has been hurt for seemingly the last 2 or 3 years, but he is working his way back here too. Who are you most excited about here? Who do you think? Give me a couple guys you say, boy, if you could get these 2 guys, and I think Varland's one for me, but if you could get these 2 guys, it kind of changes the way you feel about a playoff series.
Varland for sure. And I was there a couple of nights ago when he came in for Joe Ryan in the 5th with 2 guys on, 2 outs. But I mean, that was a pickle right there. And Tampa Bay is no joke. And he got a fly out to left and then proceeded to pitch the next inning and got 3 and struck out the side. And then I believe in the next one, he did give up a base runner, but that guy was erased on a double play. So for sure, Varland stuff, in my opinion, plays. And I'm not as worried about his youth. Like when they brought in guys like Stashek and stuff, I'm still like, what are you doing there? If you do that with Varland and it goes sideways, I'm a lot less likely to question it. So I feel like him for sure. I'm going to give you one because I'm really curious about this. And I think there's no question, especially first round, he's in the bullpen. And his starts have been spotty, but we've talked about this guy quite a bit. Playoff experience out of the bullpen. I'm going to give you Kenta Maeda. I am really curious, and I think that this is that's the thing about this. So the Twins are going to take some heat for not going out and getting more bullpen help at the deadline. And at that time, and I defend him because I'm not going to give up with some of the prospects and players that this team has traded for nothing. So if you were going to go out and get Sergio Romo, okay, I would rather have guys move to the bullpen, which is what they're doing, than give up a player to get a guy who is just basically a Band-Aid who might not be that great. And Maeda intrigues me because of his experience, his savvy, and there are times when he has looked damn good. So Varland and Maeda intrigue me in what I consider to be very much a reworked bullpen for the playoffs. So I'm not like, well, the bullpen sucks and it's status quo, blah, blah, blah. Well, one, it doesn't suck. But two, those two guys to me really bolster it. And so those are my two. Dex?
So I like Louie. I like Kenta Maeda. Paddack's intriguing to me. The thing with the state of the bullpen, and we don't take a lot of stock, and rightfully so, into wins and losses for pitchers. But Griffin Jax lost his 10th game for the season yesterday. He's made
Does he have
65
10
appearances.
losses?
Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
10 losses.
He tied
That
a
means
record, Twins record,
basically-
I think, for a bullpen guy.
1 in every 6 appearances,
Yeah.
he has lost a game for the Twins. I do take
He's
stock.
got 16 decisions. He's got more decisions than Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray does. Yeah.
It's old school, man. That's old school right there.
10 losses.
So I do take stock in losses for relief pitchers because that does matter. And Griffin Jax is probably still going to make this playoff rotation. I think you legitimately fear Griffin Jax more than, or Twins fans are probably more nervous now about Griffin Jax and Emilio Pagan, which is a complete 180 from a year ago and hell from 3 months ago probably. So yeah, Louie Varland's interesting. Kenta Maeda's interesting. Dallas Keuchel, I don't know. I can't really get a feel if I want him on the playoff rotation or playoff bullpen at all. But I feel pretty good about some of these new guys that are coming up.
Brock Stewart, he made the 25 appearances, and by the way, he hadn't pitched in the major leagues before 2023 since 2019. This is a guy going back to his days with the Dodgers. He was a pretty highly touted arm, broke into the big leagues in 2016. He made some starts. He was kind of a stop-start. He'd show some flashes here and there. And it all clicked at age 31 for him for the first 25 games of this year. And I think what I'm trying to figure out here is, because he's never really been, like the last time he was dominant in a professional baseball season was as a starter with the Dodgers in 2018 in AAA. So what we're seeing with Brock Stewart, if he comes back, what we saw in the first 25 games, he's never really been that for a full season. I want to be excited about him. I think they should put him on the playoff roster. I'm wondering how much of those 25 games were just like a glass slipper and a carriage that's about to turn into a pumpkin. I don't know. What I do know about a Kenta Maeda, for instance, is that dude has pitched in 25 playoff games. I think 24 of those outings as a reliever. 21 of the outings as a reliever. He made 3 starts for the Dodgers in 2016 against the Nats and the Cubs, and then he made the 5 scoreless inning start against the Astros for the Twins in 2020. And his relief career is lights out. Like, I know we're getting a lights out potential reliever in Kenta Maeda in the playoffs, so I'm excited about him. Yep. I know Louie Varland throws 100 miles an hour, 98, 99, 100 when he wants to hump it up. And so if you can, we almost should redo the bullpen confidence rankings based on these guys on rehab assignments. But we kind of did this with Doogie on the Scoop. But in a perfect world, if I could slot in, so you got Duran number 1, and then Thielbar as a lefty, I think we all agree is up there too. If I can get playoff Kenta Maeda, if I can get gas-throwing Louie Varland, and if I can get the first 25 games of this year version of Brock Stewart, you can do a lot of damage in a playoff series with those guys coming out of the bullpen. And that doesn't even count if Griffin Jax comes back to old form, if another lefty emerges like a Funderburk or somebody. So, I don't know. I think I agree that they probably needed an extra arm at the trade deadline, but I also agree that they weren't in a position where you should be giving up a lot of capital to add to this year's team. So the fact that they have a handful of arms sort of coming back into the mix in that bullpen as you start to go down the stretch here is a really, really interesting development.
And the thing, too, is I do like the fact, because we certainly, and I think rightfully so, rip this team a lot, but I like the fact that they're open to these moves. Like the Varland move to me is great. Like that's the exact type of forward-thinking move that you want. And so it's not like, well, Griffin Jax has been good. He's just going to come back and it's going to be fine. They're like, no, okay, we'll do something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be, the bullpen itself in the playoffs to me is going to be as if they did make some trades between guys coming back off of injury, but also off of starters that can be converted.
Yep. the converting of starters, it's not something that every starter can do, and so the Twins are in a unique position where they literally have a starter that they can convert that has been lights out as a reliever. He's done this before in Maeda. So there's going to be some other teams where it's like, oh, can we take our fourth starter that's never pitched out of the bullpen before? So they're doing it with Varland as a test run, so he'll be comfortable in a month from now or 3 weeks from now, and we already know about Maeda. So they have kind of an advantage and maybe a head start on some other teams.
Now, has Paddack pitched at all previously from the bullpen?
I think he's made some appearances. Let me pull up his
and he might be a long shot
Padres
just because of the fact he's missed so much time and what he's coming back from. But he's one I don't know what his bullpen history is.
He made one relief appearance in 2021, and that for all we know could have been like an opener and then into Chris Paddack.
Sure.
He made 4 relief appearances in the Marlins system when he was 19 years old in 2015.
So he's probably a long shot, a little bit more.
You should be working him. I don't know what is he starting for? Is it Wichita right now, or is he? Because he should be working on.
He was with Fort Myers. He was with
Wichita
Fort
a couple
Myers
nights ago.
And then Wichita, and what the luxury they have here is, knock on wood, they're probably going to clinch the division in the next 7 to 10 days at the most. You're going to have like a week or so of the regular season left to basically rest your starters and get these guys, the bullpen arms, used to this new regimen, right? Like you can start making Kenta Maeda out of the bullpen. You can put Chris Paddack in the bullpen. You can kind of test run these guys. The last week of the season for the Twins is basically going to be spring training and getting healthy season. It's just trying to see of which guys can fit into these new roles, and that's the luxury you have of hopefully clinching this division pretty early.
So so they're kind of climbing the ladder with Paddack. So he made his first rehab start, excuse me, for the A ball Fort Myers Mighty Muscles team. He is starting, but some of this is like, let's go 3 innings and then let's go 4 innings. Right. If he gets the call to be on the big league squad, I don't like if like for instance, if he's going to be on the playoff roster, it has to be as a reliever. So it'll be interesting to see if they twist his role. He went on, what day is today? Thursday. It would have been Tuesday night for Wichita. He pitched 4 innings. That's Double-A, and then he'll continue to climb the ladder. But he obviously needs more than 2 rehab starts before you can, I think, put him in a major league game.
I would be extremely concerned if they were banking on him for the playoffs. Like he's going to go in the bullpen, it's going to work out. I'd be like, I'm not so sure about that. But on Varland and Maeda, I'm pretty sure right there. And so if Paddack can pitch from the pen, that's nice. That's great. But if he can't, it's just not going to be a big deal. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's not, at least in the first round, even on the playoff roster. I think they put Ober on the playoff roster. Like if they had that decision to make to a guy that might have to come in and pitch some, I think they'd go Ober over Paddack, unless Ober, when he gets a start here now, is a complete mess.
Yep.
Don't you?
Yeah, I think so. But there's a chance. That's the thing too. Like, how comfortable do they feel pushing Ober beyond? I mean, he's already beyond his career professional innings limit. Like, as you get further and further up that ladder into, atmosphere that you've never really breathed in as a pitcher before. I don't know specifically how he's going to react to that and how they feel about it. Like, because I guess my issue would be, okay, you're now 30 or whatever, 40 innings now past your professional high, and you're pitching in a playoff game against the Rangers lineup or something.
And your arm just falls right off.
Is that a scenario that you want to, can you live with that if you lose a playoff game because you leaned on him and he just, it was fatigue playing out in real time?
Yeah, if it's between him and Paddack, I'm not sure though. Like both.
Paddack's fresh, man. Paddack is fresh.
Oh, that's the thing though, is, and plus he's got a lot of team control. Don't forget that, Phil.
He does have a lot of team control. But wouldn't you, I guess generally though, wouldn't you trust a guy that he's fresh and he's coming off of Tommy John? It's not like they're rushing him back. It's been 15 months since the surgery. And if let's say he's mowing down minor league hitters and you had one last spot for a long guy on your playoff roster, would you trust the guy that has a lot of innings to make up because he's been sitting on the sidelines, or would you trust the guy that's about 40 innings beyond where he's already where he's ever pitched before?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd like to see Paddack, I guess, pitch before I determine that.
You might be able to go over to St. Paul and watch him
Fair
pitch
question,
then
though.
at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
next week, right?
Yeah, I think
they're back
he's.
home.
Yep. So, and by the way, in terms of when the Twins could clinch the division, so the magic number is 9, and they play. Is it 6 or 7 games? I think it's 7 games on the road.
7-game road trip.
So I think the home games against the Angels and the A's in like a week, unless I guess if you let's say it's 7, if you go 5-2 and Cleveland loses 4 games, then you might clinch in Cincinnati next,
Yes.
Wednesday or something. But it looks like they might clinch against the Angels at home in a week if you start to do that math. Maybe we might be there. We're going to be there hosting a bunch of listeners in the
Saturday.
executive balcony Saturday the 23rd. Yeah.
So we could see them clinch. Spray champagne.
Some champagne.
Because we'll be on the Twins deck. So, there is going
We
to be
spraying champagne
tons
on
of
all the
champagne.
patrons. Yeah.
Tons of champagne. Mackey,
make
Judd,
it
and
happen.
Declan party.
Let's make it happen. Hey, before we get to our Immaculate Grid challenge of the day here, let's shout out some friends over at Power Lodge. Maybe part of our celebration can be spraying champagne while jumping off a Bennington pontoon that we get from Power Lodge or Miller Marine. Responsibly, of course.
Great idea. Just a
Responsibly.
great. I love it. Yes.
There are 3 Power Lodge locations in Brainerd, Anamia, Ramsey, and then, of course, Miller Marine in St. Cloud. Whether it's land or on water, it all starts at the Power Lodge for your throttle therapy. There's Judd teaching his friends how to fish. Look at
No,
that
I'm
right
drinking. No. That was me with a beer can. I'm watching. Look, I'm
There I
driving right there. There's Declan. He's young. I'm talking to my sports son. Yeah, throttle therapy. It's all about the throttle
Great
therapy.
commentary. There's Declan. He's young.
Well, that kid with bushy hair looked like a young Declan to me.
PowerLodge.com and MillerMarine.com to get your throttle therapy. All right, what's on the grid today here, Dex?
All right, let's get her up here. Another one Judd will probably have disdain for, like always.
Oh man, we got Gold Glovers and Hall of Famers. So here's
Hall
what we're
of Famers,
looking
I don't
for.
mind as much. Gotta admit that.
This is where, we're gonna have to tap into some of our old school knowledge. So we're looking to go 9 for 9. If you're new to the Immaculate Grid, welcome to the greatest game ever played, ever invented. 9 for 9 is immaculate. Anything less is a failure. And then if we want to build on it, we can aim for a low rarity score, meaning the more obscure the answers you can find, the better your rarity score. So we're looking for a Tampa Bay Ray who was once a Ranger, a Tampa Bay Ray who was once an Oriole, and a Tampa Bay Ray who was once a Padre. And then we're looking for a Ranger who was a Gold Glover, a Ranger who was a Hall of Famer, an Oriole who was a Gold Glover, an Oriole who was a Hall of Famer, and a Padre who was a Gold Glover, and a Padre who was a Hall of Famer. We're going to put 8 minutes on the clock here, boys.
We're up to 8 now. It used to be 5, then it was 6. Now it's 8. This is awesome.
I think
All right.
people have said they don't mind us kind of dinking around here.
All right.
Jason Bartlett for Padres and Rays.
It's a great one. It's a great one. Love that one. Let's try and do this with Twins.
Well, that's
Point
the next 2, Rays and Rangers or Baltimore. Nelson Cruz,
That'll
an
be high.
option. An option for either one of those.
Let's put Nelson Cruz on the list here.
Delman
yes.
Young for
For
Birds and
Ozen.
Rays.
Yeah.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Judd?
Young. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
'cause
Delman. Okay.
Delman won the he was the ALCS MVP,
Yeah.
but that was with Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Not Baltimore. Okay.
Yeah, let's put Delman in there. It'll be low.
5.
5%. Trying to think of other former Twins who were Rays and Rangers. Kyle Gibson never pitched for the Rays.
No. Fernando Rodney? Did he go to the Rangers?
Ooh.
That I don't know.
I know. So I Matt Moore would work here. Like, Cruz would be high. Pudge didn't go to the Rays, did he?
No.
Corey Kluber.
Kluber would work. Right? You pitched for both those teams.
Yeah,
Did
he
Scott
pitched-
Kazmir pitch for the Rangers?
The Angels, the Dodgers, the Rays. I think he was in everywhere in the West. I think he even pitched for like almost all of them.
Let's come back to this one because we
By
already
the
have
way-
Nelson Cruz and Matt Moore.
By the way, is that an Edwin Jackson territory?
Well, the Rays for sure. Edwin Jackson
for
definitely
sure.
pitched for the Rays.
I don't know.
We need to
about
memorize the Edwin Jackson ladder.
That's sort of like the Bobby Bonds one. We should have that one. And LaTroy Hawkins.
Let's do Hall of Famers here, boys. So, we could do Jim Palmer here, Judd, and you could be correct. You could get your Jim Palmer mojo back.
No. I'm done with Jim Palmer.
Cal Ripken, Jim Palmer.
Pudge is in the Hall of Fame, right?
Oh, you know what's a good one? For Baltimore?
We're thinking Baltimore here real quick.
Oh, Baltimore. I'm sorry.
For Baltimore, Reggie Jackson.
He passed through Baltimore, huh?
He did.
It's a great one. Eddie Murray passed through.
But that's gonna be a low, because Jackson will be a low one, right? Percentage wise.
It's old and an obscure pass through. So yes.
Yes. Because Murray spent most of a good portion of his career. He started with
3%.
Okay.
Vlad Guerrero would work for Texas because he spent his second to last year with Texas.
Vlad would have worked for the Orioles too.
Did Burt pitch for the Rangers?
Yes. Traded from the Twins to the Rangers.
Burt?
That's a good one.
Burt Blatherman, yeah.
There you go. It's a former Twin too.
That was his second team.
Oh, 0.9.
0.9%.
See, this is good.
Oh, boys.
Oh, we're tearing it up, boys. We're tearing it up.
We're
Hall of
doing
Fame,
well
boys.
here.
So, okay, Padres Hall of Famers. I mean, Trevor Hoffman's probably the obvious one. Tony Gwynn is an obvious. Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith started his career as a Padre. Now, he is also a Gold Glover.
So
Padre.
Is he an obvious Gold Glover for? Let's think of who are some.
Do
we
people
should use
know
Ozzie Smith as one of these, right?
Do people know he played? Do people recall that he played for the Padres because he was a famous St. Louis Cardinals?
It's less obvious.
And he won a Gold Glove with the Padres, for sure, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He started. I think he played 2 or 3 years before he was traded for Gary Templeton. So yes.
I'm trying to think of the Padres had some dark eras there. Like they have not had that many great players. Gold Glove is interesting because sometimes random guys pop up.
Who passed through San Diego?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of too.
But they have to have. So for Hall of Famers, we can do a pass through. For Gold Glovers, we need
Right. Oh, Padres Dave Winfield.
Oh, Dave Winfield. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Boom.
So let's use Winfield for the Hall of Fame and Ozzie Smith for the Gold Glove.
Okay.
It's 9.
9%. That tells me there's not that many Hall of Famers that have passed through San Diego.
Okay, so Ozzie.
17.
17%.
Okay, that's a little high.
But it's
I've got a shortstop for the O's, old school. This guy was all glove.
No breaks. All glove, no breaks.
No bat. Mark Belanger. Belanger.
Mark Belanger.
He was
from 65 to 82.
Yes, great shortstop.
I was going to say Matt Wieners, but I'll take your word for it here. 3%. All right, Judley.
All right, so we need a Ranger. We have answers for Ranger Ray we can work on, but we need a Ranger who won a Gold Glove. Michael Young, I think
don't know if Michael Young did. Kinsler for sure.
Palmeiro at
That's
first
a second base. It's easier.
I feel like Palmeiro might be
Did
too
Pudge
obvious.
win Gold Gloves? He won Gold Gloves.
Pudge won Gold Gloves like every year, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like
Pudge
and Palmeiro are going to be high, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think of other randos. Here's one. Did Rusty Greer, remember that left fielder from the 90s? Did Rusty Greer win a Gold Glove?
I don't remember that, but yes, he definitely. I do remember him.
I feel like Rusty Greer won a Gold Glove.
And didn't we have this debate with Palmeiro before with Gold Glove? Did we get burned on it, or did we confirm it after we?
No,
got
he
burned?
won. He won Gold Gloves because he could. He was. So he got votes because he could hit.
Yeah.
And so he won Gold Gloves. He shouldn't have. He won a Gold Glove in a year where he DH'd for almost the entire season.
Wow. For the Rangers or for the Orioles? We might have gotten burned down like an Orioles Gold Glove Palmeiro thing.
That's where I don't want to get burned.
Did Michael Young win a Gold Glove?
I don't know.
I don't think so. He played short,
during an era where a lot of other guys
were.
Okay.
Kinsler's our safer one here. I still think it'll be probably in the 10 to 20 range and maybe even higher. Pudge would be higher than Kinsler.
Pudge is going to be probably the highest.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other ones. I'm thinking we go Kinsler, but I'm trying to think of other ones that Adrian Beltre. Yeah. He's going to be high. I bet Kinsler's lower than Beltre.
I agree.
Let's go with Kinsler.
I agree.
Okay. Ian Kinsler.
No.
Oh, no. I vouched for it too, Dex. I vouched for it too.
Well,
What?
Damn it.
What?
I'm looking him up. I mean, he didn't win. He won the Gold Glove.
What?
Dex and I can wear that one together. I was sure that Ian Kinsler won a Gold Glove.
I'm not going to cast any aspersions after my week.
Played like a decade. Oh man, that's a tough one. All right, let's go.
He won 2 with Detroit. You got to be kidding me. He won 2 in Detroit when he was a mid-30-year-old.
Hey, can we just for fun? Can we try Rusty Greer? I mean, we already failed, so.
That's why I hate Gold Gloves, Declan. Gold Gloves are stupid. BS.
No, he didn't either.
Okay.
God bless it.
See, this is why I hate the Gold Glove category. And by the way,
it's so hard. It's the hardest category.
14.
And idea for
They never sort this.
Immaculate Grid categories, because you're getting lazy. Like Gold Gloves. Okay, here's a new category.
It's okay.
Category for guys who spent their entire career with one team.
Oh, Rusty Greer would have fit that one, huh?
Cal Ripken,
Beltray worked.
Herbeck,
Beltray.
Puckett.
Beltray was obvious.
Michael
We were
Young
trying-
won 1.
Okay.
He
So we
won
got
1.
we got tricky there. We got tricky. We could. This is where like we had answers that were
dude.
obvious.
Dude, I thought this might have been a guy who did this, and this would have been probably obscure as hell. Kenny
Elvis
Rogers
Andrews.
won 4 Gold Gloves
yeah.
as a pitcher with the Rangers. 4.
Like Greg Maddox, like
Yep.
with the glove. Jimmy Cott.
We got cute, boys. We got cute.
I'm telling you, my idea though is on point. One team, entire career. Immaculate Grid, make it happen.
I like it. You should.
That would be more fun than Gold Glove.
You should submit that request to Baseball Reference.
They should actually hire me. Help them out. Idea guy, Judd will get.
It always sucks. So now we have to sit here for another day until we get another grid.
I just feel good I didn't blow it, because I blew it last time.
Okay, Kirk. So the loss wasn't
just
your
feel good.
fault. So
I should have
everything's
led
fine.
KJ Osborne right into that damn safety. Got him blown up.
I was expecting a little bit
You're right,
more
it's very Kirk-like,
early
isn't it?
'80s Texas Rangers knowledge from you there, but that's fine.
I think Palmeiro won one but that was
Let me
going
look
to
it
be
up.
high. I think Palmeiro won him in Baltimore and Texas.
Let me look it up here. Rafael Palmeiro.
It's the laziest award because the managers just vote for guys who can hit.
Uh-oh. He did not win one in Texas.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
wait. I take that back. His second stint in Texas,
He won one.
he won one in 1999.
See?
And I bet his defensive WAR was like -2.
Dude, it's the stupidest. The managers vote. Kent Herbeck never won one. He was a great fielding first baseman.
In 1999, this is incredible. He won a
DH'd.
gold. He won a Gold Glove at first base. He played 128 games at designated hitter.
Yes.
What?
I told you. Yes.
He played 28 games at first base and won a Gold Glove at first base.
Yes. In 99.
It's a joke. They should just get rid of it. Remember when Joe Mauer, like Eric Hosmer or somebody, won a Gold Glove over Joe Mauer
Yes.
Yeah.
at first base? Yeah. Amazing. All right. Well, we'll dust ourselves off and try again.
It's okay,
Try
boys.
again.
It's okay.
No.
Hey, we
I'm
have
feeling real good.
we have a division that's about to be clinched. We've
Yep.
got playoff baseball on the horizon here. We will be going live for Twins Vent Line after playoff games, so you can already start to clear your schedules. Probably afternoon games, and then we'll do a Vent Line on the Score North YouTube channel. It is the Score North Twin Show.
It's okay,
where we
Declan.
just want the Twins to win one damn playoff game. One damn playoff game.
Ian Kinsler.